Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everybody. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to have you joining us as we are looking at March and springing forward. We've been focused in February and March on how do we keep the beginning of the year excitement and goals and energy of what we're wanting to bring forward in 2019 and beyond. How do we do that in a consistent way? And sometimes when we get to March, sometimes we've lost a little bit of our momentum and it's starting to look a lot like last March. And so we wanted to bring in experts that can support you and help you bringing forward those things that matter most to you in 2019 and beyond, how we can keep that momentum going and keep it not just in January and February and first quarter, but how do we keep it going throughout the year and throughout our lives? And part of that is taking a look at clutter. When do we have clutter in our life? Energetically, emotionally, physically, digital, paper, what's kind of the environment around us looking like? And are we taking actions to actively lead and move forward those things that matter most to us? So I feel like we need to take a look at the clutter side of things, check in there, because we can just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and not even be aware of our surroundings sometimes. And then what are we leading forward? What are we bringing forward? Have we created room and space to do that? We're going to be looking at those things today. I was noticing there are some programs out there on television that have really been focusing in on clutter and looking at the impact of that. I've been hearing this trend and be talked about on various programs, on podcasts and on radio shows about clutter in our lives. And so I think the topic is very timely. There's even one, I think it's called the disorganized zone that we've watched a few episodes of, and looking at how we are creating or not creating clarity in our lives and what are our actions that we're taking to move forward the things that matter most. And sometimes when there's clutter, it's hard to do that. It's hard to see the path. And then sometimes we see the path, but we hesitate a little bit with taking the steps. And so we're going to bring both these concepts together powerfully to support you. Taking a look at that clutter and looking at what our goals are for 2019 and beyond. What are we wanting to bring forward? And what are we willing to take leadership in and bring forward in our lives? I want you to get the most out of our time together today, and I know there is something here for you by the very nature that you tuned in. You would not have tuned in if there were not something for you. So because you're here and connecting in, I want to encourage you to fully be here, be present, be willing to receive everything that is here for you. Sometimes we can be here in body, but our mind will be elsewhere. So I'm going to encourage you to be fully present, all of you, mind, body, soul, and spirit, so you can receive everything that is here for you today. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep both hands on the wheels, eyes open, but inwardly tuning in and really open to receive everything that is here for you today. Those of you who are able to, let's put both feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in through our nose. Well, your nose. I'll take it through my nose, in through our noses. See how big you can make your belly? And then breathe out through your mouth like through a straw. Keep breathing. And as you're doing this, put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. Eyes closed, you're absolutely safe. And in this space, as we are becoming still and listening, our deep breathing is helping lower our cortisol levels, our stress levels, as it brings oxygen to every cell in our body, which helps us have clarity and make good choices, be fully oxygenated. Feels good. That stopping, pausing. I want to encourage us to listen. Sometimes we get so busy, we forget to listen. And in this space, I want to ask you a question. What is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, inspire you, empower you, uplift you? As we're looking at springing forward and leadership and clutter, what is it that you need today? And are willing to receive, because I find sometimes that shifts the answer a little bit. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Because we have choice. Unattached to how. In fact, looking forward with excitement and anticipation as to how. You don't have to figure out the how. Just open to receiving what you need. You're willing to receive it in whatever form it may come. Receive that information. Wonderful. Take a big breath. Come back into the room. Eyes fully open. Wonderful. Take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive, so we can keep it top of mind and be actively on the lookout for it. What it is that you need and are willing to receive. We can get distracted, we can forget. Let's really be purposeful in keeping it top of mind, what it is that we need, that we're actively looking for it and ready and willing to receive. Real time. Beautiful. Take another breath. Wonderful. We're going to go around our virtual room here as we connect in with our amazing guests that are going to support us today and looking at leadership, springing forward, and clutter. I'd love to start with India. What was laid on your heart when we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
Good afternoon, Rebecca. When I stopped, paused, and listened, the word mentorship came to my mind. And I think that it was very aligned with the season that I'm in my life, Rebecca, because, as you know, I've been working on finishing my doctorate in educational leadership. And the focus of my study is actually revolving around mentorship and how we as educational leaders can mentor one another and how we can learn from mentors. And so I find that in my life that, you know, I have been blessed to have some great mentors, but I think it's time for me to take it to the next level, you know, and to find someone that is mentoring in a greater capacity like I desire to do. And so mentoring came to me, believe it or not, the word mentorship.
I love it in all its facets, both in being mentored and looking for that person to bring into your life, that mentor, as well as mentoring others. I love that. A beautiful share. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Heather, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, Rebecca, the first thing that there were kind of two things that came. The first thing was like, I need to go outside and just like absorb the warmth of the sun for a few minutes and put aside anything I need to accomplish or all the clutter of my own mind, so to speak, or the clutter of my, you know, the busyness of my day, and just pause and enjoy that.
Nice.
And then as you asked about the like, what are we willing to receive and be open to the possibility, was this sense like that I'm ready to feel an expansive sense of time. And that was very lovely because it kind of took me deeper beyond just stepping into the warmth, but also what's the sensation I'm going to receive from that.
Beautiful. I could feel that from you, that energy and that warmth, and it felt lovely
spring is here, that. You know, the equinox is coming, so.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Thank you. Wonderful share. I know that for myself, I've been keeping the windows open and enjoying the wind and the breeze and just bringing nature kind of into the office with me. And I've really been appreciating that. So I think it's just a wonderful time of year. In some parts of the country and the world, it may still be a little bit cold yet to do that. But see where your heart is being led. What is it that you need? What is it that will support you? As we go to our first commercial break here, I encourage you to take these 2 minutes to stop, pause, breathe, and listen to what is being laid upon your heart. Perhaps some of what we shared is getting added into that. Give yourself the gift of these 2 minutes. Resist trying to run off and cross things off the to-do list. Give yourself the opportunity to be present and fully receive everything that is here for you and process it on a cellular level, real time, while we're together in this space and in this show. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel. Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. Doesn't it feel great to stop, pause just for 2 minutes and breathe and receive what's being laid on our heart? I think we get so busy in our lives, we forget the power of that. And it just takes 1 to 2 minutes to shift our energy, bring oxygen to our body, and it lowers our stress levels, and we can make great decisions and move forward in a more centered way. So I'm going to encourage you throughout the show to take advantage of those 2-minute moments just for you. Welcome back. We've been talking about springing forward, leadership, and cutting out some of that clutter, kind of taking a look at it. can we clear some of that, and why does that matter? So our first amazing guest is an expert in this, and I'm excited to introduce you to her. Her name is Heather Sontag. She is an organizational expert, sought-after consultant and coach, and a powerful speaker. She's an active member of the National Association of Productivity and Organization, and organizing professionals. She's absolutely passionate about helping you clear your space of mental, emotional, physical, and digital clutter so you can go from overwhelm to calm. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Heather Sontag to the show. Welcome!
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. What a warm, wonderful welcome. I'm so excited to be here.
You are very welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us today, and I'm glad you felt the warmth. My hands were raised in celebration, welcoming you. So I'd love to start our conversation with why this work around organizing and clutter and clearing that, why is that personally so important to you?
I think it's personally important to me because I've discovered through different times of my life where when I was not organized, that I was actually not able to make my dreams come true. I couldn't really get where I wanted to go because clutter was getting in my way. And I discovered it in college for the first time and started kind of trying to play around with how to solve these problems, both the physical clutter and the things that cluttered up my mind and my ability to think and act. And so through all of that and through my own kind of digging through it, I realized how powerful taking time to organize and thinking about what we decide to have both in our space physically and in our mental space, how that sets the scene and the energy for the rest of our lives.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I think sometimes we have a very narrow view of clutter. We're just thinking about piles and we can't find stuff or there's so much stuff around. But as you're sharing, it feels like there's a much more expansive way that we can look at things that are taking up space in our time, in our energy, in our minds, and in our physical space. And are we proactively choosing what we're having around us and in our space, both physically as well as emotionally? Would you like to add to that? I just think that's a very expansive way to look at clutter that we don't always see it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I do definitely think and agree with you that the physical clutter is what we're used to talking about. And that definitely affects how we function in a space and how we feel in a space and our ability to get things accomplished. Yet I also feel like we clutter up our minds with all our to-dos and all our expectations and negative self-talk that isn't necessarily propelling us forward. It's actually getting in the way of being focused and aware of what we really want to be using our amazing brains to do, which is to do deeper thought, creative action. And when we fill it up with all the negative talk or all the action items, all the groceries we need to pick up, it takes us away from kind of being in the here and now and being the best of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing and taking some time there to help us expand our view a little bit and how we're looking at clutter and the impact that it has on us on a day-to-day basis, both inside our very being and our mind and our spirit as well as our physical space. Now, how does, if we kind of look in some of those spaces, we look inside and perhaps we're discovering a little bit of clutter or disorganization. How does being disorganized hold us back from springing forward? Why is this important that we look at it?
Well, I think it's important because it kind of keeps us from doing what it is we most want in life. And I think as humans, what we most want, and women especially, is we want connection with others and the ability to be truly ourselves. And yet when we're disorganized, we're scattered, we're overwhelmed, which means, as I said, just a moment ago, we can't really drop into the moment, and that results in less joy and less connection, which is the real magic of everyday life. And I think most people spend so much time looking for things or recreating a process that they've already done a few times but never documented, or just trying to keep up with what's going on or all the things on the schedule, both in their business and their life, that people work more and have less time for what they truly crave and what they feel is the most important thing.
Beautiful.
And I think that having methods... Oh, excuse me.
You're fine. Go ahead.
That having methods to handle these things, whether it's email or what we put on our calendar or projects and the technology that supports it, it makes our lives easier. And it gives us more time to get to know ourselves, pursue our dreams, and connect to other people.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I like how you listed sometimes we're recreating a system, a process all the time. We're recreating a process all the time. That's a better way to say it, that we could create a system, just write it down, and that would create some ease. So a lot of these things we have in our life, but maybe just need a little bit of direction in how things can be systematized a little bit in a way that is supportive so we can be in our life too, not just going through the to-do and moving and trying to move things forward, but actually being purposeful about it. Now, we were talking in the beginning of the show, and I love this, about how you're feeling this call to go outside in the sun and to enjoy some of that warmth, and it's a beautiful spring time of year. How can we harness some of that energy of spring to help us become more calm and happy and organized, or can we? Are there things we need to watch out for in spring?
Well, I think the energy of spring is so interesting because it's like everything's ready to burst forth, yet it's one of those seasons where things it gets warmer for a few days and then it gets colder for a few days. And I think like energetically we're like, I want to get this project going, and then the cold weather can kind of set in and we're like, but it's, I also just want to sit on the couch and have a cup of tea. And so there's that, creating that balance and harmony in our lives that allow for our own energetic shifts and honor and get to know our own energetic shifts so that we can really flow and use the energy of each season, so that on those warm days when we're motivated and we're driven and we can act. And then, if another cold, rainy day comes along, that we've allowed space and time in our lives that we can step back for an hour and have a cup of tea and rest and relax.
Beautiful. Thank you. And part of what I'm feeling and hearing as you share, you have such a beautiful spacing of your voice and the energy and how you share things. And I can think sometimes when we're thinking about getting organized, it feels heavy and work and overwhelming. But as you're sharing, it just feels like, there's room and ease and support in it. And I think that's really beautiful in how you share your information. So thank you for also sharing it in that way. And I would love for the listeners today that are resonating with you, that are wanting to be able to follow you and connect on a deeper level, what's a great way for them to connect with you?
One way is to just send me an email if they have a question or they want to connect. I'm Heather at ssorganize.com. That's Heather at S as in Sam, organize.com. And you can also look at what I've got going on my website at ssorganize.com. That's for Serene Space. That's what the two S's are for, because I like to bring that serenity into all parts of our lives.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing and giving the opportunity for us to connect on a deeper level. I appreciate that. And listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want to encourage you to use this time to bring in some of that serenity and that calmness, and really think about what it is that you want to create space for in your life, that you want to bring in a little bit more. Use these 2 minutes to receive that information, process it on a cellular level. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics. Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and really gave yourself time to think about what it is that will support you, that will bring in that calmness, that serenity, that beautiful feel. And what do you want to create more space for by creating clarity and removing some of that clutter? And as we were talking about springing forward, and we've been looking at what we have in our life, and we're going to be transitioning, talking to an amazing leadership expert that can help us in leading and bringing forward all that we want to bring forward, I wanted to take a moment and just share about a special organization with you. Now, this is one of our amazing sponsors, and here's what's really special about sponsors. These are organizations that believe so much in you and in bringing this type of program to you. They are willing to put their brand, their resources, their name, and their energy behind you, supporting you and cheering you on. So let's take a moment to lean in and learn a little bit about this amazing organization. It's called Care Of, and they want to support you in your health and wellness goals. It's giving you monthly vitamin and supplement support on a subscription, so you get to subscribe on a monthly basis, and you don't have to figure it out each time and remember when to order things. They automatically come to you every month. And I love their personality of this organization. You go online, it's really easy. There's a 5-minute quiz, and it's actually fun. There's some nice personality and interaction in the quiz. It's 5 minutes, and they learn about your lifestyle. They learn a little bit about what's important to you. They have vegan and vegetarian options, and as they're learning about your lifestyle and your needs, they are able to build a scientifically backed personalized recommendation for you of vitamin supplements, and then they create personalized packets. So you just take a packet a day. It's really easy. And what's fun, each packet, I loved this. This was a nice surprise when I got my first delivery, and I opened it. Every packet had a little thought for the day or a quote for the day. And I enjoyed that because it gives us that moment to stop, pause, and think for a moment as we're bringing nourishment into our bodies. So I just love their personality, the care, and the way they connect with those that they support. And what's really cool is a portion of every sale goes towards the Good Plus Foundation, and they provide expectant mothers with valuable prenatal vitamins to support them. So I love, not only are they helping their clients so powerfully, but they're also giving back and supporting future generations in that way. And in honor of today, in honor of spring, they wanted to give a special opportunity, which I love and embrace. They wanted to give everybody a 25% off their first month of their personalized care of vitamin packages. So here's how you get that. So it's 25% off your first month. You go to Take Care Of, that's their website, takecareof.com. That's TAKECAREOF.com. And here's the promo code to get that discount. It's called Empowering Women in all capital letters. Again, that's Empowering Women, all capital letters. We'd love for you to lean in, check them out. I've been very impressed with their care and the quality of what they offer. So I encourage you to lean into them just as they have leaned into us. And they can help you spring forward in your health and do it with ease and powerful, inspirational support. So thank you, Take Care Of. We appreciate you and are excited to share about you. And as promised, as we're coming back, we're continuing our conversation around springing forward and how do we lead those things that matter most to us. So I'm excited to introduce our next amazing expert. Her name is India White. And let me just share a little bit about her. And India, I'm just sitting here because there's so much I can share about you. And I'm just feeling into that. I want to give a snapshot of where she is today, but I'm also going to give a quick snapshot of some of her history. And then India, as you want, you can expand on that. But India is a motivational speaker, an author, a minister, doctoral student, an educational consultant. She is a #1 international best-selling author and has published, at least last count, there might be more now, 18 books. She, though, if we go back in time, was a former homeless student starting at age 16. And now she's moved into such a powerful space, is leading and supporting so many people, and in fact has gotten Teacher of the Year in 2 countries. So we celebrate that. Congratulations, India. And she is absolutely passionate about helping you step fully into your leadership gifts and shine. Let's lean in and warmly welcome the amazing India White to the show. Welcome.
Hey, Rebecca. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Good afternoon, everyone.
You are so welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us today, and I'm looking forward to all that you've prepared and are going to share with us. But I'd like to start with why. Why this work of helping people in this way is personally so important to you.
Rebecca, I know for a fact that we are accountable for the energy and the gifts that we have been blessed to receive. One way that we can be accountable is by giving back and paying it forward. I look at my life at when I was an adolescent. I didn't know my way. And if it hadn't been for the community that stepped in and helped me when I was homeless, I would have been a statistic. And so it's my obligation to pay it forward and to sow good seeds and good fruit of paying it forward to future generations, because they will one day turn around and help us when we most need it. And so I also go off of the theory, Rebecca, that energy is transferred. And so there's so many things that you can look at so much of the clutter of crime, the clutter in the world, of things that are, not where they should be. But the way that we can undo these things is by paying it forward and removing some of that, negativity and that negative clutter by giving back to future generations.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And as you are, I can feel that conviction and that power in your words and leaning into paying it forward and sowing good seeds, that we have powerful choices in that, and that it really does matter how we choose and what we choose to sow. And I would love for you to share about some of your strengths. I feel like I can hear some of them in how you're sharing, but I'd love for you to share what you see as some of your biggest strengths, and how can we discover ours and tap into that for ourselves, and why is that important?
Rebecca, I must say my biggest strength would have to be empowering others and helping others to spring forward into their destinies and into their areas of greatness. As a teacher, as an assistant principal, as an author, as a mother, I love every day where I wake up and I see my children are growing. I see students are thriving. I see, wonderful business women that I work with. They are, tapping into opportunities like never before. People are shining. And my gift to the world is to bring out the greatness in other people and to launch them into that greatness by speaking words of affirmation over them, speaking, wonderful direction over them, and confirming to them dreams, and also unleashing dreams upon them so that they can go on and go beyond. So my greatest gift would have to be definitely empowering, inspiring others, building up others in every way possible.
Beautiful. And part of that, I imagine, is them being able to be mentored, to be supported, to be uplifted and hear. Because sometimes we don't recognize our gifts. We think that dream is just, who am I? And to have somebody come alongside them and pour truth into them and encourage them and inspire them and speak those dreams into their lives and hearts and cheer them on is so powerful. I'd love for you to talk about setbacks a little bit, though, because I think we love talking about being inspired and being uplifted. We don't always like talking about the setbacks and the challenges that can come. And I imagine in your journey, you've had quite a few. And so I'd love to know how you've used setbacks to help yourself move forward, and how can we do that in our own lives?
Rebecca, I always use setbacks as a tool of hope and a tool of inspiration to catapult me into the level of greatness and into the areas of destiny that I know were ordained for me to be in. So, for example, when I was homeless in high school, I would always motivate myself by saying, this is not the final chapter. The best is yet to come. I know something great's coming around the corner. I need to just continue to be the best and continue to work hard towards my dreams, because I know that I will one day live my dreams. And so I use setbacks to motivate me and to catapult me into greatness. I went through a time personally, and I know I'm talking to women, and so I want to go there. So I got married and I got divorced, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. It just, I guess God just had it that the chapter ended, and I got a divorce. I thought I was at the end of my rope. I didn't know what to do. I had 2 children, and I had to figure my life out. Well, I decided to focus on the future energies and the wonderful community that was around me, and I motivated myself by saying, I want to be an author. I want to be an entrepreneur. And so I began to take those steps and empower myself and to speak positively and walk confidently towards those dreams. And now I can say I'm an author of over 20 published.
It's over 20 now. Wow.
Yeah, over 20. Yeah, and it's still growing, Rebecca. I'm very grateful, and I definitely give God the glory for that. But it was just that motivating, and that also that internal locus of control, of being able to have self-control until I tasted of my dreams. And so then after my divorce, I went through grief. My mom passed away. My dad passed away. My sister passed away as I was an assistant principal and working on my doctorate and having speaking engagements and writing books and raising children. But I had to learn to use that energy of, okay, they're gone now. However, I can use the beautiful energy of their memories to catapult me into greatness, and to know that everything that I achieve after their, passing, it goes towards their great memory, and it affirms to everyone that they were great people. So that's how I use setbacks to help launch me forward. And, of course, just seasoning all of that with prayer and faith.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And we're going to get ready to go to a commercial break here in just a moment. It goes so fast. But I would love, before we do that, I want to give listeners just a moment to kind of breathe in what you shared and to think about setbacks. Sometimes we have those create a stop for us or a period in our life. And I love how you look at that as just one chapter. And you've written so many books. It's one chapter of many books that we can use that and find inspiration in it, not have it be that thing that stops us. And I think that's really powerful about what you shared. And I'd love for you to take a moment and let our listeners know how they can contact you and stay in touch if they're feeling that resonance with you.
Thank you, Rebecca. They can reach me via email at india.white.123@gmail.com. They can also reach me on my website at www.india-white.com, and social media is going to be LinkedIn, India White, and also Facebook, India White.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, hope you make a note of that. And I encourage you to reach out as your heart is being encouraged and inspired by what India is saying. We all need that encouragement and support on the journey. It is not a solo journey. So thank you so much for joining us today, India, and sharing. I appreciate it. Listeners,
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. And listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break here, as those beautiful commercials are playing in the background, giving you updates on things we want you to be aware of, take a moment to really process what's being spoken into your heart and spirit. Give yourself the opportunity to integrate it, so it becomes part of you, not on that to-do list to someday get to, but really give yourself the opportunity by pausing and breathing and listening to integrate it into who you are. And with that, we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's not just talk radio. Hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-hosts Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing. Packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit voiceamerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes that you had the opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate. Behind the scenes, we're just kind of pausing and breathing with you and enjoying that time of connection and listening, and being still is such a gift to give ourselves, and it helps us really hear and receive and make wonderful choices and decisions. When we get so caught up in the busyness and the day-to-day things, we're just in reactionary mode instead of proactively choosing to move forward those things that matter most to us. So today, I hope that you have found some great tools and ideas and ways to think about things to help you spring forward powerfully in those areas that matter most to you. We began taking a look at what was being spoken into our respective hearts and what isn't. I want to encourage you to look back at that note and what it is that you need today and are willing to receive. Kind of check in. Have you received some of that during our time together today? Or is it something you want to make sure you're keeping top of mind and continuing to look out for so that you can see it and receive in a powerful and unexpected way? I always like to think about, if I keep top of mind what it is that I need and I'm open to how it may become, I can actually be beautifully and powerfully surprised at how it can be met in a way I never would have imagined. And I could have limited how that need was met. So if your need is still there, be actively on the lookout as you go throughout your day to receive exactly what it is that you need to support you on your journey. And then take a look at the clutter and look at what is going on the outside of you and on the inside of you. And are there things that perhaps could be streamlined a little bit and create space and room for those things that matter most to you? Are you maybe facing a setback right now and letting that stop you versus inspire you so that you can bring forward and lead those things that matter most to you, bring them forward into your life in powerful, meaningful ways? And behind the scenes, I asked our amazing guests if they could share a quick idea or concept or tip or something that was laying on their heart, a piece of advice or tip that you can take with you as you go back out into the world. And behind the scenes, I was telling them it has to be really quick. 15 seconds, 20 seconds. You need to be really quick. And we actually have a little bit of room and space. So I wanted to give both of our amazing experts an opportunity to share with you. So if you want to take a minute or a minute and a half to share, I want to give you that space to really serve our amazing listeners today. So Heather, I'd love to give you an opportunity to share what was on your heart that you wanted to remind our listeners or share with our listeners.
Oh, well, thank you, Rebecca. What comes to my mind and to my heart is that so many people feel like they don't know what to do or they can't get organized. They're not organized, and so therefore they can't be organized. And one of the main precepts of my practice is that anyone can get organized. Anyone can clear the clutter a little bit at a time with thought and care, vision and purpose. When you get clear on why you want to clear clutter or why you want to get organized, you can use that as your fuel to make it happen. Combining the ability to dream about what you really want and breaking it down into small action steps, it's amazing what anyone can do.
Beautiful. Thank you. And that's a really good thing to look at, because we do tell ourselves things and we can't do it and it's too hard, or I'm just this way. And I love that reminder that we can, and we all have that ability, and we can take it a piece at a time. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And India, how about you? What was laid on your heart to share?
Well, Rebecca, I was thinking of, we all go into certain phases sometimes in our lives and we think we can't overcome clutter and the practices and the habits of this, and we don't know how to get out of it. And, a part of my book series of overcoming obstacles, I talk about how you can overcome setbacks and, regrets and, start thinking positively, start empowering yourself, start, talking positively, start believing greatness. And so I want to encourage all of the listeners out there with a simple phrase, and I just want to let you know, be encouraged. When it looks rough, look forward and know that there are better days ahead. Life will turn around for you because you are an overcomer. And so I love to talk about overcoming obstacles, because I believe that in every single person, they are an overcomer, including in the area of clutter. So whatever you do, hold your head up and know that you will overcome. Your best days are ahead of you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, take a moment to breathe that in. Wonderful. That we can look ahead with purpose and know that our better days are yet to come, and we can lean in and step into that and bring that forward and bring it into reality. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. And listeners, what was spoken into your heart and spirit? I mean, we started our conversation today talking about that as we bring our time together to a close. I want you to check in again. So what was laid on your heart? What's been spoken to your heart? And I encourage you to take a couple minutes at the end of our show and process and breathe and receive everything that is here for you. So as you go back out into the world, you're doing it on purpose. You're doing it with great purpose. The day isn't running you. You're getting to purposely choose how you navigate and walk through the day, bringing forward those things that matter most to you, because every choice that you make, every step that you take is leading in a direction. And I want to make sure it's leading in a way that's of service to you, that is helping you move forward in those areas that matter most to you. Because each day, the choices we make, the steps that we take, adds up to our week, adds up to our month, adds up to our year. And that adds up to our life. So let's make sure that we're taking steps each day to move forward in those areas that matter most to us. Because each of you are an incredible gift, absolutely needed in this world. There is no one just like you. In fact, I believe you were made for such a time as this. Be willing to share the gift of who you are. Be willing to bring it forward. I was touched by so many things that were shared today, and just what's coming to mind, Heather, how you were talking about, paying attention to what's in your space and to what you're believing, what you're creating room for. So if each of you are a powerful gift, if you're willing to bring your gifts forward, those setbacks are just helping you dig in deeper and find your inspiration to bring it forward. Remember to treat yourself as a beautiful gift that you are. Take good care of you. Be extra kind to yourself. Put things in your space that are encouraging to you, that are uplifting you, that help you move forward powerfully. Because you are a unique, powerful, and precious gift that is absolutely needed. So that wherever you go in the world, whatever you do, I hope you choose to share the gift of you. That's the biggest gift you can give the world, is a little bit more of you. Be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine your gifts, your talents, and your abilities out in the world. You are so needed, so loved, and we support and cheer you on. Have an amazing week, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.